I had always loved the eerie tranquility that settled over the mall after closing hours. The echoing silence, punctuated only by the faint hum of distant machinery, filled me with a strange sense of peace. As the night security guard, I was accustomed to patrolling the dimly lit corridors, my footsteps the only sound disturbing the stillness. But that one fateful night shattered my sense of calm, leaving me stranded in a nightmare from which there seemed no escape. It was a Tuesday, just like any other. The last store had shuttered its doors, and I began my routine rounds, checking locks and scanning the shadows for any signs of intrusion. That's when I first caught a glimpse of the figure, a fleeting silhouette ducking into the dark recesses of a deserted store. My heart quickened, but I chalked it up to my mind playing tricks on me. There couldn't possibly be anyone else in here. I had checked the entire mall thoroughly. Ignoring the unease creeping up my spine, I continued my patrol, my steps growing more cautious as I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. A faint whisper seemed to follow me, its words indistinguishable, but its presence unmistakable. I brushed it off as the wind whistling through the ventilation system, but deep down, I knew it was something far more sinister. I quickened my pace, determined to finish my rounds and leave the desolate corridors behind. Yet as I approached the food court, a chilling sight froze me in my tracks. A figure, shrouded in tattered garments, stood hunched in the center, its face obscured by shadows. My breath caught in my throat as I strained to make out its features, but the darkness refused to yield its secrets. A surge of adrenaline flooded my veins, urging me to flee, but duty compelled me to confront the intruder. "Hello?" I called out, my voice barely audible above the thudding of my heart. The figure remained motionless, an ominous presence radiating from its still form. With each step I took, the air thickened, suffocating me with a sense of dread that seemed to seep from the very walls. I reached out a trembling hand, intending to illuminate the space with my flashlight. But before I could flick the switch, the figure swayed as if caught in an invisible gale. A primal fear gripped me, urging me to retreat, but I stood my ground, determined to uncover the truth behind this haunting apparition. The figure lurched forward, its movements disjointed and unnatural, as if puppeteered by some unseen force. Its form contorted, elongating in grotesque proportions that defied the laws of nature. Panic surged through me, scrambling my thoughts and blurring the line between reality and nightmare. I fumbled for my radio, desperate to summon help, but static was the only response that greeted my frantic pleas. A low guttural growl reverberated through the food court, emanating from the depths of the figure's shapeless form. I staggered back, my mind reeling with disbelief and terror. With each passing moment, the figure's presence seemed to swell, filling the space with an oppressive malevolence that threatened to consume me whole. In a final act of defiance, I raised my flashlight and directed its beam at the specter before me. What I beheld in that brief, heart-stopping moment defied all reason and sanity. The figure's face, or what should have been its face, contorted into a nightmarish visage, its hollow eyes gleaming with an otherworldly hunger that pierced through my soul. A primal scream tore from my throat as I stumbled backward, my mind unable to comprehend the horror unfolding before me. Shadows converged, enveloping me in a suffocating embrace as the figure loomed closer, its presence suffusing the air with a palpable malevolence. In that paralyzing moment, I realized the truth. This was no mere apparition. This was a manifestation of the mall's darkest secrets, a spectral guardian of its forgotten horrors. With a surge of willpower, I turned and fled, my footsteps echoing through the empty halls. Panic lent me strength as I sprinted towards the mall's entrance, the phantom's haunting whispers pursuing me with an insidious persistence. I burst through the doors, gasping for air as the cool night breeze caressed my feverish skin. Behind me, the mall stood silent and imposing, its secrets veiled once more in the safety of darkness. As I recounted my harrowing ordeal to my colleagues and the authorities, I couldn't shake the feeling that the figure still lingered, its presence an indelible stain on the fabric of my reality. From that night on, the mall's closing hours held a new terror, a specter that defied explanation and defied all attempts at rationalization. The memory of that night would forever haunt my dreams, a reminder that some mysteries were never meant to be unearthed, and some terrors were better left undisturbed in the shadows.